Calling our meeting to order.
Thank you.
Everyone's in attendance, and our first guest is Jean Young.
Thank you.
Jean's here tonight to discuss our recycling committee, recycling regulations, correct?
No, I'm here because of your private hauler regulations.
Thank you. Okay. I thought they were called recycling regulations, but I'll
No.
take it at anything you want. So,
Well, I listened to your previous meeting where this was discussed, and I thought perhaps it would be helpful for us to review your regulations on private haulers. This was signed by your board April 15th, 2017. You have a copy?
You want me to make copies of that?
Hold on,
Dennis?
excuse me.
why don't we let Laurie make copies for the board members? That way we can all participate in any of the conversation. Is that okay with you, Joyce?
Absolutely.
There we go.
Why would I care?
I always have to make sure. it's
Oh,
okay
come on,
with
don't
Joyce.
keep it from me ahead, son.
Oh, come on, Joyce. How are you doing?
I'm doing.
Good to hear.
So, it's for me.
Everybody saw the bills, I see.
Yeah.
Listen. You lost Dennis too?
He's on the phone.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got a
okay.
phone call.
Where's your car?
I've got Jay's truck, he
I
had
saw
parked
that.
behind my car.
Oh, that's a nice looking red you got there.
My apologies, I have to leave.
No, whoever did the door.
Brenner Signs. They do all of our
Yeah,
It
lettering.
was-
Yeah,
My wife
they do
has a
nice
hairdresser
job.
appointment that she missed last
Congratulations.
time, and she has to wait 2 months to get another one. And I'll be at the doghouse forever.
What happened?
He has to go. He has an appointment.
Bye, Dennis. Good luck.
Okay, one less number. Oh, boy. Gene, I'm entertaining you first because
I
you're
appreciate
here
that.
in person.
I
That's
appreciate
why.
that.
Well, you know, I always.
Can
try
we
to
accept
do
that? Can we work on the minutes while we get photocopies made so that we can look
Yeah,
for
we
them?
certainly can. That's a great suggestion.
Some bills are done.
I've already read them, so I am making a motion to accept the minutes as presented from June 7th and June 13th.
Second.
Thank you. He has a report.
Anybody have any
Thank you.
additions, corrections, anything? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Lori Dennis left.
Okay, and who seconded the minutes?
Bill,
Bill,
Thank you.
I figured that was an easy one to catch up
Yeah.
on.
okay, so we have the copies in front of us. Jean, you're on.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify the role of the recycling committee. We were created to help reduce waste, increase recycling, and educate the public. Committee achieves its goals by serving as resource and advocate to help residents, institutions, and visitors reduce their environmental impact, save money, and keep Kingston beautiful. The committee works directly with town officials to improve the solid waste and recycling programs in cost-effective and easy to implement ways. As you can see, we have no regulatory authority. We're simply an advisory group. And the reason that we have interest in your regulations on private haulers is that this is a way to ensure that private haulers are providing recycling to their customers. When you wrote your regulation, you required certain things, including quarterly reports of volume. And I understand that the Superintendent of Streets, Trees and Parks utilizes those reports, to make his reports to the state as well as, for grants. So I think there was some question at your last meeting as to why there were reports required and what to do with reports didn't come in. I've talked with Joyce, and she's trying to get a better understanding of what the state DEP will do to support Kingston in this endeavor, and apparently didn't feel that you got much back in the way of support. from
Yeah, when we
DEP.
contacted them, DEP was, yeah, we don't really do anything, we don't follow
Yeah.
up. Now, it seemed different when we were at the recycling meeting, so I don't know where the disjunction is
Right.
between who we spoke to and this fellow that
Right.
did with you guys.
So we have a gentleman, he's called a MAC, he's a municipal assistance person, he works for DEP. He's been very faithful about attending our meetings, he's very helpful because he helps us understand what's going on at the state level, make sure that we're following all the rules. And I brought this to his attention, and I'm hopeful that he and Joyce and I can sit down, and Joe, certainly anyone else can sit down to figure out where DEP fits into all of this, because they're the ones that want everybody to have these private hauler regulations. They've got standard language that you can utilize to do this. And within your regulations, you have penalties for private haulers that do not comply with any portion of your regulation. My role in recycling is I usually contact the health agent around January to find out if all the haulers have been submitting their reports. And if not, to advise them, remind them of your regulation
Right.
and the fact that they could lose their permit to operate within Kingston if they don't comply fully with your regulation. So that's the only place where the recycling committee gets involved at all with your regulations. It's just to make sure that they're doing the reports, so we'll have that information available to submit to the state and for grants.
So I guess what I'm asking for is support that, this quarter, the first time we don't get them, I want to issue citations, fines. Because we're chasing these people, I mean, poor Lori is on the phone, we email, we call, I've called, she's called. And how many haulers do you think we have? It's only a couple, right? Most everybody does the right thing.
There's like 2 or 3 that are constant problems, one in particular. Especially this last time, I still haven't gotten it.
It seems
How
quite
many in
cut and
total do
dry
we
to
have?
me right
Excuse
now.
me. How many,
Right,
how
8.
many in total? We have
It's
8 in
8.
total. And there's 2 or 3 that you
No
have to
problem.
work
Yeah.
at?
One in particular is always a problem.
Go ahead, Heidi, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It
So I'm
seems-
wondering if we, at this point where this has been going on and to my, I looked back and I haven't seen any fines issued ever through this since 2017. So, I guess at this point, are these fines high enough? Do we need to up them so that right off the get-go, that we are waking people up? Because
I think this is enough to get started with, Joyce.
Okay.
If we're not being heard, then we might revisit it at that time.
All right, and then the other thing is, I noticed in some of the regs, like the tobacco regulation too, that you can no longer use the sheets that we use unless it's under $300. After that, there has to be a cease and desist order with a fine. So we can use the
So
piece, what, I don't even
Well,
know, the
hopefully you're not
docket,
gonna get to that with these, because the first offense is $100, the second one's $200.
right?
By then, they're not doing the right thing. They're probably just gonna not renew their permit and not come back.
One would only hope.
Or it
Okay,
can't be
well,
revoked.
you can hope that, and that'll.
No, in the sense of if they're not gonna comply, like,
They're not gonna.
shouldn't
comply
do
with all
business.
Okay.
All right, so that, I'm gonna institute that then I'm gonna send them out immediately for anybody that's outstanding with. But I just wanna make sure we have the support of the board, that is,
It's in the
Well, I would
regulation.
think that the call you'll get will be from a resident who's going to say, my hauler or my trash pickup guy is just not gonna
Suspended.
service it anymore because he has a problem with you people, and as long as you're prepared for that call and you can explain that to the resident, that he's not complying with the regulations that are in place.
And then, so,
then
I have
you're
no problem
then
with it.
fine. As long as you're fine
so,
with that, so.
well, I'm not fine with any of this baloney. Didn't you tell us that you called the state and they didn't really care?
well.
So now we're gonna
what-
stop everybody's, we're paying 200 a week to have a special one at my place because this regulation, when you guys came up, it's costing us 200 extra a week.
Wait a minute, why are you putting it in me?
It was, you came in front of us in 17. We passed some kind of this thing. I haven't read it
But
all.
Bill, but everybody needs
So
to
we're
be
gonna,
doing this.
where's all the trash gonna go?
No,
If
they're
they,
asking
if they get
to
aggravated and they
separate
don't
it.
wanna do it anymore.
There's plenty of vendors
Up
that,
the golf course, that's what I put it then.
well,
Where's it gonna go? We got 280 old
Bill,
people in my
nobody-
place. Are they all gonna try to march somewhere? What if my outfit stops and we're shelling out 200 extra to have it
Right.
done?
there's 8 vendors that we currently have permitted in the town. We're only having difficulty with 1 or 2 of them.
What's
So
the
there's
name?
6 other people
Do you have
that
the
we
names?
probably love to have your business. I do not have.
No,
for
we
this
had
meeting.
3 other businesses. They had oil leaking all over our streets and everything. We had to get rid of them. There's only one that will do our place. He does barrels and he'll do trash bags and he picks up with our just dumpster. We have paper and all that. There's only one that'll do it.
So
So that's a separate issue from what's being discussed
Right,
here.
that's not what this is
Well,
about. This is not about,
is it our job, Joe? I'm reading all this. It's not our job to enforce them that they put in
Well,
paperwork.
it kind of is our job because it's in the
I was here at
regulations.
17. I know. I remember when this got passed because it cost us 200 more a week in my place.
okay, what this is about is that they are supposed to simply be saying how much recyclable material.
I know they, I know the
Divide it
state
up.
don't even care.
We can't, I'm not sure we can say that. She had a conversation with one person. We're gonna
Right.
try and clarify
I've been
that.
involved with the state with veterans and everything. They stink. Please,
Well,
not
I think we
angels
at
at
least,
all.
I think we at least need to give DEP, the person that Gene deals with, the opportunity to come up with some plans and at least he's willing to talk to us, so that seems to be a good starting.
You mean he's gonna come in here?
Yeah, not to you, but
No,
we have
here.
a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have we'll have a
Oh,
meeting.
well, that's all right. Let him come up. As long as you don't have $1,000 suit on.
And you, and tells you it's down there.
Huh?
You know the name of the vendor. that
It's a huge one. I'll call him and give you the name. But we have a recycling bin just for papers and all that.
Do they use it?
It costs, oh yeah, we fill it up. It costs us 200 a week just for that. And 120,000 a year for the trash. So, these guys better not come up here with $1,000 suits on, because we're getting killed down there. And he's the
Everybody
only,
does have the right to
This
go to
is
the
the only
town
outfit that
transfer
would do our
station,
place
correct?
that
Everybody
wasn't
can buy transfer station stickers.
Oh, boy. Well,
so let him come and give us a talk, whatever we do.
Well, it won't be with you guys. It's just, we're trying to figure out how we can enforce it better with the help of DEP, but I'll start with the fines. I got no problem with that.
Because thought I read something in here. You wouldn't have to do it, but it says somebody has to check their trucks.
Yeah, that would be me.
which you kind of said, how am I gonna do that?
Right, exactly. Well, we're
That's
strategizing
right.
on what can and can't be done. So as that proceeds, I'll let you all know, but right now, if it comes down to that, I will just follow the truck around, whatever. I'm not proud. I got a Tyvek suit, so it's all good. Not to worry. I'm on it, Bill.
Mhm.
I just wanted to clarify that the recycling committee isn't imposing anything on this particular board. We're simply inquiring to find out if the reports are coming in, because we'll need that information when we apply for grants.
I watch all their meetings, so I know.
Would it be
I do.
would it be helpful if we were to share with you the vendor reports when we got them? Or do we do that now?
We're not doing that now, and I don't really know that that's necessary. That's another clerical action that has to be taken by your staff, so.
Once
we're
it
not-
is sufficient, like when you're doing grant work, it's fine for us to give you everything at one time.
Right,
It's
yeah.
fine, I mean,
I
we
mean,
can
we're not
accommodate.
in the business of making work for people. We're trying to work cooperatively.
Well, I understand that. I'm just wondering if it might help you in your,
No, I think you have a regulation, you have a health agent who oversees that, and that's really, we have no role in that other than to get the numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
So Jean, just let me know when you get back from.
Yeah, well, the grant,
Yes.
all the grants closed last week, so he was like swamped.
Okay.
He has 32 communities that he assists, so he said, give me a week after the grants close until I catch my breath. And then we'll schedule a meeting to see what we can do.
Sounds good.
Okay,
So in the meantime, I will be issuing fines to people who haven't got their stuff in.
any questions for
No, thank
recycling?
you.
No, thank you.
Okay, we're always looking for people to help with recycling, and we thought we were going to be able to move forward and open up a swap shop. We've done all our homework, we've done our field visits, we have our spreadsheet, we're ready, and then we found out that because we applied for a grant, then we won't hear on until the fall. We can't purchase it until after we hear we got a grant. If we buy it now, we're out of the running for the grant. Yeah.
Well,
Could we
hopefully-
set up an outdoor space until then, kind of like Duxbury has?
I guess we could if we had enough volunteers to do that. Yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Volunteering.
yeah. When we reopen, it will be with an attendant there at all times, because I personally spent about 20 hours a week cleaning out the old one because people didn't read signs. So we had a lot of things that shouldn't have been there, and it became very messy. We had it
Yeah.
all laid out very nicely,
You did.
lots of signs, shelving, but it became a real issue. So we do want to reopen, but it'll need to have a volunteer there whenever it's open.
So is it only one volunteer that you need, or?
Right time,
I
but
wasn't sure if maybe, I know the kids at the high school need community service hours,
Mhm.
and they're always looking for them, so I wasn't sure
sure,
if the kids, the older ones, the seniors that
Yeah.
are graduating, that still need.
yeah,
community
it would
service
just be
hours.
somebody to say, yeah, that's okay, put that in
Right.
here, or no,
Right,
that needs
yeah.
to go.
Direction.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't become a mess.
Mhm.
So it's really useful.
Yeah,
for
It's
people.
definitely useful.
Yeah.
I,
So that's our next big project,
it's great.
but now we have to wait. We were hoping to get it open this summer. So next spring, maybe
Awesome.
next spring we'll be able to do that.
Sounds great.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jean.
thanks.
Thank you. See you later.
All right, so. Take it easy, too.
All right. Joyce?
Yes,
Please do that health agent. report.
I can breeze through it, no
Okay.
worries.
And
So pending's nothing's changed, still hanging tight on that stuff. Wells, none. Baymont Shelter, I've had 2 complaints, one exterior, one internal. The internal one seems to be more of an issue that the complainant is probably going to be being removed, so complaints come in. Outside one has to do with dumpsters. I did go by there today. The dumpsters are empty. I've had a discussion with the restaurant above to say if they see anything, to please feel free to give me a call, because it would be easier if somebody calls to tell me I can go down. Lay Road, apparently, from my understanding from the email I received from this person, they don't like the look of this other person's yard at One Lay Road. I went by and I can understand their, not being thrilled with how the person chooses to keep their yard. However, there is no health code violation, so I cannot cite for people that collect a lot of things. 12 Bagnell Road, that's the second time, but this is the one that it's alleged that they're putting a great deal of bird feed down to attract pigeons. I did see 2 pigeons, but I did not see 50 pigeons. So again, it's hard to cite for something that I haven't witnessed. So I will continue to do drive-bys to see if at any point there is a large collection of birds, because that is a issue.
Are they having any rodent issues with?
No,
The amount-
nobody has seen it and I have to see it. And,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do. I go around and look and see, okay, is there any birds? Is there any, do I see any indication of rats? The problem is where this is, it's right on the coast, so there is going to be rats because it's near the water. So, but I will keep an eye on it. And then I get a complaint about Highlands Lane and Blair Drive. Absolutely not founded. It's an agricultural site. They are turning grass clippings over. I actually ran into one of the brothers today and had, because I was down there doing these other inspections along with some beach stuff. Had a very pleasant conversation, and it was on the property. There is nothing there that's citable. So as far as I'm concerned, that's closed. Unless I get a new complaint, what was alleged is not accurate. We continue to do the food retail establishment inspections. We actually went out with, all 6 collective towns went out with Diane, who works for Food Code Pro, and she was a inspector in the field for a long time. And we just did some in-depth inspections to kind of what people should be looking for, and that was useful. And then I've done at least 1 food truck inspection, and I had an issue not this past Saturday, a week ago, this past Saturday, the Dunkin' Donuts. I got a call from the fire department because the fire alarms were going off because ovens shorted for the 2nd time in 6 months. So I was assured the last time that they would, be replacing the ovens, but apparently they fixed them, and I told them absolutely not. You need to get new ovens, which they did do. They full compliance, met with the owner and the district manager, so that's all set. We did have to have a discussion about fire protocol. They opened doors to let the smoke out, and like the fire department said, if there was a fire, you would have just provided oxygen. And then somebody shut off, reset the alarm. And so I've asked them to put signs up that say that the alarm cannot be altered with unless instructed by the fire department. So as far as other trainings and stuff and meetings, health, equity, and emergency preparedness at Zoom meetings, we have to go to for Region 5. I did that. Digitization of the records. This is through the grant funds. I had another quick meeting with the person. Looks like it's going to be a goal. They will be digitizing all of our stuff up in the attic, which will be great. I met with the recycling committee, obviously, to discuss this hauling stuff. And then grant committee Zoom meetings, we just did it by Zoom. We had to go over fiscal 24 because it's closing out how we can spend down. And then one of my old colleagues was nice enough to come here, and actually Lauren from Duxbury came. She reviewed we have new camp regulations that the camp organizers must follow. And so my colleague Sue had created sort of a template, so we went through everything, so Lauren and I knew what to look for, but also created a template for the camp. So it spells it out, this is what you need, and put it in a binder, and it literally will make everybody's life easier, because everything's in a section and you know what you're looking for. So we're all in compliance with what the state's requiring. And then there you can see the septic inspections that have occurred in the last 2 weeks. That's all I've got.
Did you hear from Janet?
Anybody have any?
No, oh, she emailed me today about, Healthy Kingston, so I will be getting back to her on that. What was that, Joe? I'm sorry. Did you say something? I thought.
I was about to say, does anybody have any questions, but how do you ask one? Does anybody else have any questions for Joyce on the health agents report?
I just have a question. I was talking to Lori about the Howlands Lane and Blair Drive. I did actually went by that because I was curious, because during that whole regulations for the, promoting farming and clean, healthy farming for Kingston, that was, a few people had come up to me and just asked if, that could be brought up, in the past, but I went by there because it kind of piqued my interest when you said that feed was being dumped. And I was
There's
like,
no feed.
is it the same? Is it on the corner?
Yes, the corner lot,
Of
there is no
Blair?
feed, that's just grass clippings and peat wood chips, like there is no feed
No
over
feed.
there, I walked the property.
Yeah.
So,
And they're tilling it and
yeah,
turning.
they're composting, it's to make agricultural land, so what they're doing is completely
Yeah.
within MDOT regulations.
I think you might be confusing, is it the Lee Road, who's got the pigeons, who's feeding the?
No,
pigeons?
that's Bagnell.
That's Bagnell.
And-
That was so Bagnell will be the one that was putting feed out that you might be inquiring more about.
No, one of the original complaints
The
for
complaint
the
for last-
Barlow, Barlow,
Harlow.
was that the guy said, oh, he's dumping feed. I'm going, what person is going to dump hundreds of dollars worth of feed? Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Pellets, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but it costs money and
Right.
nobody's dumping it. And so when I went over there, there's no feed over there. It's grass clippings.
Mulch piles.
Yeah, it's mulching. They're trying to, render the soil more agriculturally favorable, so.
So
there's
they're turning
nothing-
and tilling. basically.
Yeah, it's fine the way it is. They're well within their
Yeah, they're
agricultural
just breaking
rights.
stuff down.
No, it's just, this is what happens when you get people that move from the city to the country and aren't familiar with farming. They don't know what's going on. So,
Yeah, as long as it's being turned and there's no odor, bugs, rodents, whatever. Right?
there's nothing. There's no odor. There is no sign of any rodent infestation. There's nothing. I'm more concerned with people's properties that, are leaving food out and trash.
Right.
Anybody else?
Joyce,
Yes.
good job.
Oh, thanks, Bill. Aren't you sweet?
Okay. You want to read the Healthy Kingston report?
I don't have one.
Okay.
I just put her email with a little blurb about the taping on Thursday.
Yeah, that's it. She's taping a segment on Thursday. She asked if we had anything. I will respond to her. I wanted to get through this meeting to see if there's anything that needs to be announced. I figured she can announce heat advisory, summer heat advisories to pay attention, make sure you're hydrated, wear your sunscreen, the usual stuff that comes along with that. And then also to just remind people about ticks and mosquitoes. I do get the updates that, there's certain streets that are being sprayed. I get the weekly update on that as well.
Anybody have
We
any-
can post that if you guys want it posted on the on the Kingston Health Department website. We can post it, or I know that it's easily accessible through the Control Commission. But if we want to post it, I can give it to Lori to post up there that they're spraying on such and such a day.
That might be a good idea.
Okay, it's done.
Do you have any other suggestions for Janet? Joyce speaks to her. Anybody else have anything?
The heat advisory, such as the link that you guys posted on the Facebook page
Yeah.
today. Janet usually runs a little heat advisory blurb, reminding
Okay.
that we have a cooling center usually
Yeah.
available at the senior center, and you know.
She already does that, but I'll just.
But
remind
just,
her
yeah,
about-
just give her a little, hey, let's make sure everybody knows where they can go,
Okay,
especially with the upcoming heat this week.
Anybody
all
else
right,
have
good.
anything?
Yeah, the only thing I want to mention, it has nothing to do with you because you're an angel of mercy. But I saw this paper, I was reading about the mosquito thing. Somewhere
I'm
in
not
there,
sure what you're referring to, Bill.
about,
Senate letter.
we, telling the state, we, or whoever, we
Oh.
agree with them. Well,
That's.
I'm not a we, I don't want to be, I'm not agreeing with it.
Okay, well, why don't we wait till we
Okay,
get
let's-
to that
let's
and then
get-
we'll,
Oh, you haven't got to that yet?
no,
Oh,
it's
sorry,
not me.
sorry.
It's not me, dear.
Yeah.
One of these days.
Let me get Phil a little bit better organized here, okay? And then I get to his letter, of which you have a copy.
So we'll-
Because I read everything.
Well, at least you read it. That's good. That's a
Yeah.
start.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Since you're on it.
Yes, it is. Okay. Your timing is impeccable.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes, it's.
Thank you.
You must have been hiding out that window and watching.
No, actually.
There would have been one little,
Changed, so.
there would have been one little thing ahead of you, but I'm gonna just go right to you. This is the letter that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And what Pine is looking for is an endorsement, I believe. from
Or a
the board.
rewrite or something from you that would indicate, if I may, do you want me to may? Want me to carry on?
Nope.
Mr. Chair.
That's good. So, here it is, it's in front of us tonight, Dennis is not here, however. How does everybody feel about this? And, what do you wanna do?
Bill seemed to have some feelings about it. Why don't we start with him?
I already know Bill's feelings about it, and so do you. What's that?
I think it's
They want
easy
you
to say
tell
yes
them
or
your
no.
feelings about it.
My
Surprise.
feelings. All I know is the last 3 years we've had spraying and I got beautiful bumblebees. We got millions of them in my park. We got animals everywhere. They're having a great time. Bugs, animals, they're all flying around. But we're surrounded now by water. And for what, 20 years we've been spraying. And how many kids have died or got hurt when we had some bad times in Kingston? So I'm for keeping the spraying, because I know the state's not gonna try to kill us. Not that way, they might other ways, but not that way.
Can I address them?
Of course.
I don't think any kids have gotten critically ill in Kingston.
No, they
The
haven't.
one, the child in Halifax died in 2016.
Well, I didn't say that. I said,
Well, I
we
just,
kept people from
want
getting sick.
is the point. I just want to say, the problem that we have is not that we're trying to protect people. The problem we have is that trying to protect people is actually harming some people who are allergic to all this stuff. And is doing damage environmentally that is going to harm us. And that includes pollinators. The bumblebees you're talking about are coming from the beekeeper, the cranberry growers who are now using bumblebees to pollinate their bogs. So there's a lot of bumblebees around, but they're not necessarily native bumblebees. The thing, the direction we're trying to go in has to do with the mosquito task force that was developed by the state a couple of years ago. And they said that we're spending a ton of money doing all of this aerial spraying and especially the aerial spraying for adulticide and the BT. And there's no efficacy proven for any of it. We're spending a lot of money. My experience in 2019, and it's very fresh in my mind because we're doing the gamut, is that it did killed off all the dragonflies, killed off all the butterflies. It chased the aerial applications, chased the birds west and north. And so you had triple E in towns and villages. You never had that before. And it's because the birds didn't have anything to eat. And so they went further north to get mosquitoes. But they don't eat enough mosquitoes. They're actually the transmitter of the disease to the mosquito. So what we're trying to accomplish is instead of paying our $80,000 that we pay every year to the Plymouth County Mosquito Control District, because we're a member, instead of buying Anvil, for instance, that we used last year and the year before, that had PFAS in it, and now we're spending $1 billion to clean up PFAS out of our drinking water levels. You know, to do more education, to go around to the kids. They're doing some education, Plymouth County Mosquito Control. I have to say, I get along with them. I like them. I talk to Ross as much as I can. I pointed out a problem that we have. We would like to get more into the ecological management so that we're more effective about it and we're not harming. We have PFAS in lobsters. We're also killing lobsters by treating the catch basins that dump stormwater into the estuary.
You have more
Because-
plastic in the ocean right now contributing to PFAS and lobsters than you do from pesticide management.
I don't, what I'm saying, Heidi, is that we're adding to the damage.
No,
we're doing
you're
the
being
same
slightly
thing.
misleading, Connie.
I don't think I'm
I'd like
being
to see the
misleading at
science.
all. What I'm saying is that there was a study by the state
Mhm.
of a very diverse crowd of people that had a consultant that came up. You can read the report. I'm not going to try to force you to write a letter that you don't want to write, but I would like to engage in developing a conversation with you, like I am trying to do with Plymouth County Mosquito Control. And little did I know that Joyce is a commissioner until recently, when I went and read all of the minutes and all of the annual reports and stuff like that, because it matters to us. Because I have bees, we bought 2 hives this year. That is the 6th hives we've bought in 3 years.
Well,
Because we keep.
one thing
losing
I'd
them.
like,
And I'm
with
an
your
exclusion.
grains, I wish you'd stop listening to the state, because they're all whacked out.
It wasn't the state that did it. It was an eclectic group of people from,
Somebody hired them. They must have got paid.
no, they did not, the
I think
people
the
that were
reason-
on it did not get paid. The consultant got paid to help, figure out what to do. And what they said is we need more ecological mosquito control. We're not gonna come, but we have no efficacy information. And that's what Blake Vinius, who is the Plymouth County entomologist, says also. And if you were able to listen to his, the program that he did for North South Rivers Watershed when he was on that, it was for a big group of people, but it was hosted by them. And he goes around and does education. If he were in charge, I think we would have a different kind of mosquito control. I'm for controlling mosquitoes. I'm for bringing back the eels that will eat them all up before you even know one is there, because it helps our environment thrive. And right now, all of them, I'm leaving here to go count eels up at Forge Pond now, because it's important that we get them back, and they're on the brink of being endangered. This is what we're doing with the poisons, with the Anvil also has PBO in it, piperobutoxide, which, strengthens the effect of the poison in the application. And it makes it last longer than the Anvil itself by sinking into the sediments and killing the things that live in the sediments. The mosquitoes don't live in the sediments. The eels do. The crabs do. The lobsters do, and that's why it's a problem. I'm not, I am anti-pesticide now because of all of the damage that it does. I'm not anti-control. I'm totally into management because I think that it's essential for us to deal with the dengue fever that's on its way, you know what I mean? But that's not bred here. It's because people travel, and we we need to address these things, just like we need to address poverty and starvation. You know, we need to do something about it, but ignoring it and letting us waste all our money. And I honestly think we're wasting a lot of money and time, and that we'll be the worse off for it. So that's the direction this group that I'm involved with is going. Better control, not no control. We're not into no control. We're not into denying that a virus and triple E is a real problem. It is. We know that there are more malaria might show up. You know, we know that with climate change, it's going to get worse. And that's why we're trying to get up to speed by bringing us into the 21st century instead of relying on something that we started, you know, in 1950. And even the mosquito ditching that we started in 1920.
Was climate change was also caused because our earth is ancient. Getting older.
I know, but we're escalating it fast.
Well,
We're making it.
that's what the government's telling me.
Okay, I think we're getting away from the topic at hand. Joe,
No, we're not. The earth is old.
no, that's
No, we're
fine,
just
but let's get
signing
back
the
to
letter or
this
not
letter.
signing the letter.
Yeah, I'm listening to the lady. I'm not saying nothing.
Okay,
Anyway, that's the point. So work with mosquito control, not get rid of them. Bring on education, ramp it up. Be more aware of the habitats that we create, you know? And one of the things I asked Ross, the Plymouth County Mosquito Control to check out was Barrows Brook Villages, because it ain't being maintained, not by the town, not by anybody, because there was supposed to be a homeowners association that never got developed. You know, but it's a real breeding nightmare up there. I don't think there should be, I don't love mosquitoes like Blake does. He has an affinity for them because he appreciates what else they do, you know, and it's not, you know, half of them are males. The males don't bite anybody. The males pollinate. It's the females that bite. So how do you take care of that? You take care of it by protecting yourself. And I've been finding a lot of nice protections lately, so. If you want to know, I'll let you know. I think mosquito disease is a problem we should be diligent about, not just blind eye. We're letting the pesticide companies, the chemical companies run the show, and that's not the way.
I'm gonna say I disagree. We know you and I stand very differently on this time. Because I have been in situations that you will never want to be in. I don't agree with pulling back funding and diverting it into this program. I am not in support of this
Pulling back funding
from the current mosquito control program. Because that was the impression I got from this letter as it is written, is diverting some of the funds.
It has to do with expanding the program into more education and more effective management. That's what it's saying. It's not diverting it. It's using it more productively.
In your eyes, yes. In my eyes, using.
No, not in my eyes. In the eyes of the entomologist, in the eyes of the people
That's
that know
fine.
more.
When you look at a family and you tell them their child's dying from triple E, then you can tell me how I feel about this and why I have the stance and the position I have on it. I support spraying and I will continue. to
They were
support
spraying when the child got triple E, Heidi. It's the
Not this
spraying
one.
didn't work. That's what I'm saying. Spraying is not working. And we need to be better about how we're doing things, like
Okay.
a lot of things.
I think at this point, we've heard what
How are
we
you
need to
doing
hear.
with this?
I think there just needs to be more education. I'm in favor of spraying myself. I spray my yard. It's a natural pesticide, but I feel we need to keep our spraying the way we do because things are,
I spray my yard with cedar oil when I get around to it, but right now I've been focused on making sure my gutters are not breeding mosquitoes and the tarps over my wood piles and my bird bath, which I have to dump twice a week. I'd
Twice a
love
week.
to-
I do mine every day.
I'd love to know well, I know mine is very heavy. I think I'm gonna drill a hole in the bottom of it, so I don't have to lift it up anymore, but I'm saying that most people don't. And that most people don't because they don't know it's necessary.
Well, in my park, I tell everybody that has them to clean them.
Bird baths and gutters.
Yeah. Well, look, we can't have old ladies up top of the roofs anymore. They're all too old. Cleaning gutters.
Well, I know, but that, you know, we should get mass save to, you know, give breaks to people so that they can get the gutters that don't create mosquitoes.
Okay, well, at this time, I'm certainly not hearing
No, I'm-
support for the letter as presented. However, I'm not hearing anybody that's not in favor of education, community education programs along that line.
Mhm.
I don't want to vote on this because I think you really know my reasons why. So to that end, could you rework this a little bit and come back with something that's a little bit more prone towards education, a little bit less taking away from the current strain?
I was hoping you didn't rewrite it.
I understand what you were hoping for.
No, I'm not rewriting it. I do not have time to rewrite it.
There's no
I
one
have enough
better-
things on my
There's no one
plate.
better to do this than you, because you're as passionate about it your way as Heidi is and hers. And, but on the same token, I don't think Heidi would not support a program within the
I
community.
am all for educating
I
with
understand
the
that.
gutters and the bird baths and the
Yeah.
standing water.
Which, by the way, the Mosquito Control Commission does, they have somebody specifically goes out, they speak at schools and COAs, anybody can get them to come out. They already provide education like that, so
But
it
not
isn't,
enough of it.
well, it is available, fine, that's
I
the
didn't say it
point.
wasn't available. I said they need to do more of it. That's what I said.
Well, I think everybody's,
I mean, they've done like five this year. How many? people-
that's not accurate, that they've done 5.
In
Fine.
Kingston. In
Well,
Kingston.
that might have been in Kingston, but they're doing them all over our area
So
on
back
a
to the same
weekly
thing.
basis.
I think that if we could come up with something a little less,
I'm trying to get you more people. Let's poison more people. Yes, okay. So,
I'm gonna need your help on this, because as you can see.
yeah,
This is something that I know you're passionate about. I respect you. And I think if we presented it in a little bit different manner, I think that you might be
you
able to
did
get
write it in a
that done.
hurry, because like Joyce said. But I'll give it another shot
I would appreciate it.
when you want it. And Joyce, you want me to email you, or are you too busy to read emails like me?
I read my emails.
You want one?
You can certainly forward it to me, yes.
It's for-
I will forward it to the
Can you
board.
give me a-
Okay? Thank you, Pat.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
you all. I haven't met you.
I'm Cheryl
Hi,
Anton.
Cheryl.
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
sorry.
Nice to
I
meet
should
you.
have
I've seen you
introduced.
at many meetings.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night,
Okay.
everyone.
Thanks, man.
At our last meeting, we had a public hearing pertaining to the tobacco regulation. I put forward a motion. It was reiterated by Dennis. A suggestion was made that we take the week to think it over and call for the vote at the next meeting. And, do you have the motion? I have it here. Do you have it?
I have it here,
But
yes.
you must have it, okay. So why don't you, can you read back that motion that I made?
You also wanted us to clarify the language, was the other.
Yeah.
Let's see. Motion made by Dennis Randall to adopt the regulation outlined by our chairman. Joe outlined that the first offense, in addition to the fine, the requirement would be that the employees at the offending facility all must take the online course offered by the state for the sale of tobacco products and produce evidence to the board that they've done it. On the second offense, in addition to the fines, a 7-day suspension of their license to sell tobacco products would be enacted. On a third offense, in addition to the fines, a 30-day suspension of the license to sell tobacco products. A fourth and any subsequent offense will result only in the fines that apply, not only in the fines that apply, but a 1-year loss of license of the right to sell tobacco products.
That was my motion. So it would have to be seconded and then we'll vote on
I
it.
will second it gladly.
Okay. And on that particular motion, we should do a roll call vote, so I will call Bill.
Yes.
Bill says aye. Cheryl, aye. Heidi,
I,
and I say aye. So let's adopt that, put it in our regulations, put it on the website, please, and,
I'll send out letters
send out
tomorrow
letters to the.
to everybody.
Yes. you know,
thank you.
Get serious about this, more serious than we have been. Hopefully it'll work. Other than that, let's see, we spoke to Pine about that, the tobacco regulation is all set now, and, the private haulers, Gene came in. I know that what she wanted to do was just to point out to us what our responsibilities are, regulations say, because I think at the last meeting, she heard things a little different, like why are they, and it's really, there are regulations out there.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted to point out.
I think she did a great job
She always does.
helping us through, and I appreciate it as
Yeah.
always. She's such a.
She's
good help.
super helpful as
Yeah.
far as, I
Jean?
think
Yeah.
she's very
Yeah.
nice to deal
She's
with.
great.
No question about it.
The last thing, Joe.
Well, now we know what we need the information for. We couldn't
Right.
figure out what we needed
Right.
the information for, and she cleared that right up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he tends to get right to it.
The
So,
only thing was the inspection fee enforcement, how many days are we giving people? And then am I writing dockets to take it to court to say they haven't paid the fee?
but what I would like you to do, and then again, this is just my personal opinion, I would like you to send letters to those, haulers that are.
Oh, no, this is separate. The haulers, I will get on that and send a letter saying going forward, this is what's gonna happen. I will give them that. You have 30 days to get,
A letter of warning.
yeah, like
Okay.
30 days to get everything I need in, or you're gonna be hit with a citation, a
Okay.
monetary citation.
Okay. then
The
that's that.
re-inspection fee enforcement is after
Oh,
the third
okay.
inspection. No, after the food inspections. Remember we said we had people that we were going back 5 and 6 times and they haven't corrected the inspections for food related stuff. So it's been a $75 fee. I just want some clarification on one, how long. I figure 30 days is more than adequate time to get to what an average bill is, 30-day turnaround time to get your payment in. And then I'm assuming after that, it's much like the tobacco, we issue a citation that goes to court and it goes to a clerk's magistrate's hearing for non-payment. Is that,
Yes, that's how it works.
okay, just wanted to clarify
Oh, you're
that.
right. that's exactly how it
Fantastic.
works. Been like that for quite a few years. Right, Bill? Okay. Other than that, our next meeting would be when?
First. July
Okay.
1st,
July 1st.
that's 2 weeks. If we go a month, that is the 15th.
Eddie looks happy about that. What's up, Heidi?
It's a busy week, July 1st. The office is gonna be closed on the 4th, you know, that's a lot to expect our staff to,
And I won't be
What do
here
you
the
wanna
8th,
do?
I'm taking the 8th off.
why don't we push it to the 15th? If something comes up in the meantime.
I will obviously get in touch
Please.
with
Yeah.
everybody, yes.
Okay.
So 15th,
How do
yeah.
you feel about that, Cheryl?
That's
You
great.
okay with that?
Yeah.
So, okay,
Oh,
Fantastic.
okay.
so July.
July 15th.
Right.
I'm 100%, I'm taking care of the lady.
I'll be
You know, Heidi, that's why I looked at
You
you.
got that?
What? Well,
I could tell by the expression it wasn't.
July
wrong.
1st is not a good,
Not happening?
sorry.
I was like,
I know how this office is gonna be.
Now, does anybody have anything else that could be either new or old business that they'd like to talk about before we entertain a motion to adjourn? Anything, anybody?
No, I would like to thank Joyce and our whole office, Lori, for Joyce and Lori, really. You guys are doing a great job and we appreciate all you do for us, and
thanks.
I will make a
Okay,
motion
then.
to adjourn.
Oh, now you took it right away.
Second.
I was rolling it, sorry.
You can second it.
I did.
She did.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.